Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are great. So, you all remember what Andrew Schulz talked about, said about Kendrick Lamar on his show, which did not go away. Well, and for those that will be asking what happened, Kendrick Lamar said something on his song that he doesn't want to see any comedian disrespecting Black women. And he did not call anybody's name. That man actually picked it up and went to his show and started talking about it, saying that he is if they keep him and Kendrick Lamar probably in a prison or something, that he is going to break him without his consent. And people were really laughing so hard, thinking it's funny. There is nothing funny about essay, and that was not a joke. And now his fans, Kendrick Lamar's fans, came out to warn him and telling him to stay off, right? And he is busy running around saying that they are doing way too much, saying that they are going to unalive him and all that. One thing I am going to say is that I do not support bullying or harassment of any kind. That is something I stand against, right? Now he is running around saying that Kendrick Lamar's fans are toxic and all that. But the same man that is saying that they are toxic is the same man that came on live television or show to say something denigrating about a Black man that was talking about that was fighting for equal rights, or that was fighting for Black women, right? Now people are talking about accountability. What happened to him coming out to say that what he did wasn't right? And now he thinks he want to push the blame on Kendrick Lamar. Let's get into this video.
My fault, I know I've been missing, but yo, I'm not gonna lie, I just saw this clip of Andrew Schulz and Charlamagne on a show. I forget the name of the show. Oh, Brilliant Idiots, right here. Yeah, so I saw Andrew Schulz and Charlamagne on a show, and Andrew Schulz was jacking that niggas was threatening to kill him. Let's listen to what Andrew had to say before I give y'all my 2 cents.
Don't be surprised if he goes crazy. Listen, some of the Kendrick stans have been posting shit like telling me they're gonna take out my family on like pictures of my child, my daughter. God. You surprised by this? This is the nature of the game.
Yeah, social media.
Yeah, social media. It's like, but he says that line. He says that line. His parent, his friend, some of his fans. The majority of his fans don't do anything. The majority of his fans are just like, they like hip hop. They think he's a great musician. But the most extreme ones, on a picture of my 8-month baby, are going, "You better take security everywhere because I'm coming for your whole family." And this is like multiple. Crazy. So to me, that person, I don't blame Kendrick. We can't control what our fans do. But that person, I go, "You're talking about my kid, man. Like, I have to screenshot you, know who you are, and if I ever see you, you
Why you talking tough on IG Live? Pe0ple, you know my little niggas off they rocker." Nah, but no funny shit. Andrew. Now listen, I know how crazy fans could get. Now, since I've been covering this rap battle and shit, I've had stands from, the Canada side of things talk crazy, but you feel me, don't bother a nigga. So I know people could start talking crazy, but listen, when you talk about, physically and sexually assaulting somebody, and then you pass it off as comedy, it's going to be really hard for people to feel for you now that strangers are giving you similar energy and saying what they're going to do to you when they see you and shit. You feel me? And I'm not excusing it. I don't support any type of physical threat over on the internet, and no threat of killing, especially under pictures of babies. Some of y'all niggas is a little crazy. Y'all need to relax. But this is the nature of the beast, gang. Like you said, it's the nature of the beast. You know that. You understand that. You can't cry wolf now because it kind of sounds like you crying a little bit, bro. Like, you set this up, bro. You talk crazy, and you know these motherfuckers be crazy, nigga. You know it, Andrew. You know it. So you can't sit here and say, "Niggas is threatening under my pictures of my baby and shit." When you were saying that if you was locked in a cell with Kendrick, you would do X, Y, and Z and all this, you know what comes with the game, gang. Now, when it's basketball or some shit, a nigga having a bad game, and then people go under the comments, this dude family comments, and start threatening their family, that's crazy. But you can't threaten sexual assault on somebody and then be like, "Oh my God, people are sending me death threats." Like, you be alright, gang. But until next time, I'm out of here. Make sure you hit that follow button. Follow the backup account. It's linked in the caption, linked in the bio. You shitting me?
Not the white man that threatened to R-word Kendrick Lamar, upset that his family's getting death threats. Now, let me be very clear. I don't support bullying, harassment, doxing, death threats, all that nonsense. However, what I will say is the caucasity of you to make these threats online, to say these statements. Oh, it's just in the name of jokes. And now people are threatening to unalive your 8-month-old, which again, I do not support. However, you did not think about your family or anyone connected to you when you did that. And at some point, we got to be able to say, you know what? Damn, I went too far. There's the invisible line with jokes. This is the reason why I don't take comedians too seriously when it comes to some of the things that they say. However, there are times where they will step over that line. Now, depending on how quote unquote dark your humor is, you're going to determine whether or not you feel like that person went too far. Bro, you made jokes about graping a man. And you thought that You thought that was going to be okay, when that literally has historical significance to buck breaking. And if you don't know what buck breaking is, you go ahead and you go and you Google it, because I probably can't talk about it here on TikTok. Make this make sense for me. And it's the tenets of white men to do this. You put this I don't give a F energy out into the atmosphere when you're being held accountable for something that you clearly went too far on, right? Trying to quote unquote troll people. I know we say this all the time. The internet is forever. Which y'all forgot? Y'all thought people was just gonna be cool with you making those types of statements? And that cornball that was sitting there with you that allowed you to make those statements and didn't check you? Here comes the consequence.
You are a white man that threatened to SA another black man, and you're upset that that black man who has millions and millions of followers are threatening you online. Brother, you're not the victim here. You are not the victim here. All right? Instead of hopping on the internet and talking about some, oh, these people threaten my family, these people threaten me, why don't you just get online and apologize, bro? That's it. Just say, oh, what I said was in bad taste. I didn't mean it. Whatever the hell you got to say. But don't hop on the internet playing victim. I hate that. Like, you threaten to SA somebody, and you're mad that that same energy you put out is coming back to you. I've said a lot of messed up things. I've done a lot of messed up things on the internet. But one thing you will never see me or hear me do is threaten to SA somebody. That is next level unhinged behavior. And you thought it was funny. That's even worse, bro.
I want y'all to notice how when that man was sitting next to Charlamagne the God and was faced with the opportunity to take accountability, he did not. I want y'all to notice how now his response to what the backlash is to say that Kendrick fans are starting to make physical threats to him and his family. I want y'all to see how it seems to be more important for people to defend a man's freedom of speech than defend someone who speaks up for the women in his community. I think this is something we should all pay attention to. And black people, black men specifically, some of us need to start taking a hard look at ourselves. Because I see a lot of you going to bat for that man and his right to tell a joke and calling the people in your own community soft for the fact that they don't want to tolerate disrespect. It's not just the public figures either. It's people right here on TikTok who think they're standing for something by defending what that man said or dismissing it altogether. That's not okay. Let's just call it like it is. It's not okay. It's very whack, all right? And some of y'all are doing it because I get you don't want to support Kendrick Lamar. That is what it is. You don't have to like him as a rapper. You don't. You don't have to like that he won the battle. You don't. But you also should not endorse anyone, absolutely anyone, disrespecting the women in our community, the women in the black community. And I'm telling you, what bothers me more than this whole beef situation between Andrew Schulz and Kendrick, or Drake and Kendrick, or any of that, are the people in our own community who are taking hard stances against us and trying to say that we are playing the victim, trying to virtue signal us for trying to stand up for what we believe in and who we are as a people. You should really ask yourself why you don't see that applying to you, why you don't identify with that desire to have some sort of power and self-respect within the Black community and tell other communities not to disrespect us. Why do you not identify with that sentiment? Where does your power come from? Because if you can talk down and disparage your own community, you obviously don't draw power from it. So where does your power come from? Why is it that you can look at a man who says Black women are always stressing their boyfriends out? Their boyfriends are growing beards because Black women are slapping the shit out of them all the time. Why is it that you can look at a man who says that he would put himself in a jail cell with a rapper and take advantage of him, and that rapper would have no way of fighting him off? Why is it that you can identify with someone like that? You can identify with those words and brush them off and say that they're just a joke. But you can't understand the deep-rooted ancestral trauma that would cause an entire community of people to be upset by those words being spoken. Why is that? These are real questions we need to be asking ourselves, because this is beyond just a joke or a disagreement between a comedian and a rapper anymore. This is beyond a rap beef. We need to really look at who we are and ask these hard questions.
The loudest voice condemning Andrew Schulz should be Charlamagne. Charlamagne basically sat beside that cultural vampire and allowed him to come into the house and to be disrespectful to Black women, and now to be disrespectful to Kendrick Lamar, who is doing nothing more than standing up for Black women. So it should be Charlamagne, who talks about how he loves Black women, he loves all of that, and he loves his Black people. Now is the time for Charlamagne to step up and show that he truly loves his Black women and Black people by condemning, not only condemning Andrew Schulz, but calling him out and letting him know why everything that he's saying about Kendrick Lamar is rooted in racism, is rooted in the degradation of Black men. Because that's what he was talking about when he talked about he wanted to SA Kendrick Lamar. You know, and for some reason, that is a fantasy of every racist white man, to try to denigrate Black men like that, thinking that it's okay. So the person right now who should be the loudest voice in the room speaking out against Andrew Schulz should be Charlamagne. Okay, so Charlamagne has commented on the Andrew Schulz thing, and as to no surprise, he's basically sided with Andrew Schulz, basically doing the cover of Andrew Schulz is a comedian, and when did we start policing comedians and what they say? And if you don't like what he has to say, you have the right to protest. Nobody is saying Andrew Schulz didn't have the right to say what he said, but people are pushing back to what he said. Okay? Now, let's stop pretending that Andrew Schulz is some great comedian and political satire pushing forward the boundaries of comedy. He's not. He is nothing more than a Joe Rogan right-wing bro out there saying things. He's not saying things to push boundaries. He's saying things to be offensive because white guys like him feel like, I'm a white man in America. How dare you, tell me what I can and can't say. I'll be as offensive as I want to be, and I should never be held accountable for my actions. But he's not the only one who does this. It's also happening with Bill Maher, when Bill Maher recently had Stephen A. Smith on his show to talk about how America's not as racist as people perceive it to be. Trump won 20% of the vote, and Stephen A. Smith sat up there and agreed with him about all of that. You see, what's really happening is that they are laying the groundwork to basically make it more acceptable for white people to justify their support for Trump and his white nationalist agenda. And the way you do that, the way you make racism palatable to white people, is you get Black people to go out there and tell you how it's not as bad as you really think it is. The one way to basically silence voices of dissent is to get somebody from within inside the group who you know is going to be voicing dissent to say how bad it's not really is. And you allow those people access, limited access, okay? You will never see anybody else but Stephen A. Smith, that close to Jerry Jones. You don't see any other black person having that type of access to talk to Jerry Jones like that. But you see it for Stephen A. Smith. You see Charlamagne going on The View talking about Democrat. Now, when did Charlamagne become this great political guru that black people follow? He's not, but he's he's a media figure. And so him and Stephen A. Smith and many others like him, like Candace Owens, they think that because they speak with a certain vernacular and certain way that lends credence to, them having credibility within the black community, and black people follow them and listen to them. We don't, okay? It's basically, let's help lay the groundwork for white supremacy to make it more palatable for white people to say why they support, Trump and his racist agenda, because now we have these black people who are saying that it's not as bad as it really is. Okay? And let's stop pretending like these mediocre white guys are some great comedians pushing boundaries, against the institutions of America and champions of free speech. No, Bill Maher, Andrew Schulz, and a whole lot of them, they're not Lenny Bruce, okay? They're not being persecuted for what they said because of morality and obscenity laws. They're not that. They're racist white guys who have a platform. They're mediocre at best, but and this is what America is all about, mediocre white guys being able to rise to the top of their field, while more talented black people have had to struggle harder and can't even get their foot in the door. And this is why that they're not really great comedians or anything like that. Because you should be able to do your material in front of any audience, anywhere, at any time, and get the same reaction. Andrew Schulz can't do what he does in front of an audience full of black people and get the same reaction that he would in front of a room full of right-wing MAGA bros, because it's not relatable. Now, you know who can do that? Bill Burr. Some people might like it, some people might not like it. But Bill Burr can do comedy with racial undertones because it's funny, because it's observational, because it's not coming from a place of, I'm a privileged white man, I get to say whatever I want to say, and if you don't like it, screw you. So take it for what it's worth, and be mindful that when you see all of these people like Stephen A. Smith, Charlamagne, Candace Owens, they're all in the same group. They all have access to media. And they're all being placed out there to soften and to make palatable white supremacy in America. That's what this is truly all about. And we will not stop talking about it just because, Andrew Schulz wants us to stop talking about it, or because Stephen A. Smith, or because Bill Burr, Bill Maher, or Charlamagne are out there and they say, well, it's over with. No. We no longer operate on their timeline, their frame. We do it for ourselves, by ourselves. So take that for what it's worth.
A message to Andrew Schulz. You get what you asked for. I'm sorry, I don't feel bad in any way. So Andrew Schulz is reporting that Kendrick Lamar fans are sending death threats to him. I don't think anybody's family should get death threats, but you get what you pay for. Now, why am I saying this? Well, Andrew Schulz took offense to a line out of one of the songs on Kendrick Lamar's latest album, Whacked Out Murals, where he said, "Don't let no white comedian talk bad about black women, that's law." Now, he never mentioned Andrew Schultz's name. Didn't mention Gary Owens' name either, or Bill Burr, or any of them people, right? And Andrew Schulz took it upon himself to go on his flagrant podcast and say that because Kendrick Lamar is so short, he would SA him if they were in prison. and went graphic about what he would do to this man. Now, he's getting death threats. Hey, yo, hey, people get death threats every day, B. You be all right. You tough, right? This is what happens when you get too comfortable in spaces you don't belong in and then open your fucking mouth. This is what happens. Kendrick Lamar doesn't come from Bel Air or Beverly Hills. This is a child of Compton. This is a child that grew up with gang violence all around him. This is a child that lost friends to gang violence. And as a grown-ass man, he has made it abundantly clear that this is where he comes from. This is what shaped the person that he is today. Some goofy-ass comedian thinks that's funny. Are you laughing now, Andrew? Are the jokes funny now, Andrew? Are they? I bet you want to rethink talking about sexually assaulting a grown-ass man now, don't you? See, some of y'all need to understand something, that there are consequences to bullshit. There always has been. Always has been. Some people run their fucking mouth way too goddamn much, get way too comfortable in spaces they don't belong, and then their shit gets exposed. Whether it's, I'm a comedian, a white comedian, I took offense to some shit, which he actually did, by the way. This isn't, Andrew Schulz is not some innocent child, some babe in the goddamn woods. He did exactly what Kendrick Lamar said he did. But Kendrick never mentioned his name. Never. And he stepped his stupid ass out there. He did. Nobody told him to say a goddamn thing. He could have kept it pushing. But no. He decided to get into some graphic detail about what he wants to do, which basically amounts to buck breaking to another grown-ass black man. Now people are saying, don't bring your ass to LA. Don't. There are people in different places saying, you better not come here. Cause, effect. And again, I know there's a whole bunch of people that will say, oh my God, that's so bad. Kendrick fans shouldn't be doing that. When were y'all going to tell Andrew Schulz to keep his fucking mouth closed? Why is it that everybody want to throw rocks and then hide their fucking hands? No, don't. You got rock dust all over your fucking hands. Show them. Andrew Schulz asked for this. He did. Because he got in his feelings about something that his name wasn't mentioned in. And by the way, I do not have the reach or the money of Charlamagne the God. But fuck him. Fuck him. Twice. Forehead, stiff jank, covered in fucky sauce. Fuck him. Because he's the one that put the battery in Andrew Schulz back in the first place. Had Charlamagne told him, hey, you might not want to say that, Andrew Schulz would have kept his fucking mouth shut. Or not. But Charlamagne over there thinks the shit's funny. Okay. And when your friend is on when your good friend and podcast buddy is on a rest in peace t-shirt, how funny will it be then? This is the time of fuck around and find out. We have when Cat Williams said the truth is coming out, it was the most prophetic thing any person has said in 2024. The truth is being revealed. A lot of fuck motherfuckers, a lot of fuck boys are out here doing fuck boy shit, and now they're getting caught. A lot of dumb Americans are voting against their own best interests, and now they're about to find out. The truth is being revealed. Now Andrew run around here worried about being a victim. Bitch, no, don't cry. No, stand on it. Say some more of that on stage. And I tell you what, go to the LA Coliseum and say it. I am fucking daring you. Go Go do a show in LA and use them same jokes. Use them same jokes. Make sure you announce that you're going to be in Los Angeles saying them same Kendrick Lamar, I will sexually assault you jokes. Make sure you do. And if your ass get packed up, I got nothing for you. Go anywhere, and say that. Because number one, wasn't nobody talking to you. You took offense to it. Number two, not only did you take offense to it, you decided to make it worse. You brought a spotlight on your motherfucking self. And number three, now you are getting the consequences of your fucking actions. People need to learn. Stop running your fucking mouth. If you ain't got the balls to stand up to the person you're talking to, then my advice, shut the fuck up. Shut your dumb ass up. Some of y'all are being exposed. Some of y'all are being real fucking exposed. And your bullshit is starting to come out. It is. You can't hide forever. Motherfuckers have a problem with you, they gonna have a problem with you. You don't get a chance to come on a goddamn podcast and say, if we were in prison, I'd do this, that, and the third to this person. And then expect to be able to, oh shit, it's just free speech. It's always got consequences, baby. Always. Some of y'all are learning. Some of y'all are fucking learning. It's a hard lesson, but it's a lesson your ass needs to learn. Now, Andrew Schulz can cry all the fuck he wants. Oh my God, I'm getting threats. And I bet you won't say that shit again now, will you? Or maybe you will. Maybe you will. Maybe you think it's all cool in the fan. Okay. All right. Then whatever consequences come with your fucking inaction or your inability to realize you probably should shut your mouth when people tell you this ain't about you, maybe, just maybe, when those consequences catch you, you'll learn. But as far as sympathy, we have none. You get what you asked for. A lot of y'all are walking around here foul as fuck. And eventually it will catch up to you. Andrew Schulz is about to find out the fucking hard way. I just hope it's a lesson he can walk away from. Because some of these people take shit like that seriously. And he gonna fuck around and end up at a Bob Hope comedy special today. Figure that one out if you can't. If you don't understand what I'm saying, figure it the fuck out.
So this is all I got from this video, and I am going to say this. How come he is a comedian and he doesn't know how to take a joke, right? Because, like, just because the fans, Kendrick Lamar's fans, dropped message for him, he is running helter-skelter when he is supposed to sit down and take a joke like a man that he is. Is he not a man? Of course, he is a man, and he should be able to take jokes, and especially this kind of jokes. You see, accountability. There is nothing as beautiful as accountability. Accountability. But it looks like it is far away from him, because I see how proud has already, clouded him, and he is in his feelings, all right? But he is so quick to come out here to tell us that his family is, they are saying this about his family and saying that about his family. Like, I care. I actually do not care. Now, it's amazing how these people really want to be victims so bad. You said something very horrifying to someone, telling somebody this, what you said to that Kendrick Lamar is disgusting. You know, you came out on a show and said that openly, and you were giggling, laughing like it was funny. Because, sincerely speaking, I did not see anything funny with what you said. That was disgusting. And Charlamagne, you sat with Charlamagne. I really don't understand, but I am trying not to, like, I don't understand people that do not tell people the truth. Because if Charlamagne also is truthful, he absolutely will tell him that, man, that thing was just disgusting. What you said about Kendrick Lamar wasn't a good one. But he also sat there with him interviewing and saying, and there was a place he said, you made a joke, because I watched that, but I cannot bring everything completely. So you can actually look it up and see his interaction with him. You know, Charlamagne was saying, "Oh, I heard you make jokes. Do you make jokes with black women and all that?" And he was like, "It's a comedy and all that. People should be able to, like, nobody should be restricted to making jokes about people and the rest of it. Like, really making jokes about people in a denigrating way, in a very disrespectful way. I mean, that is not it. I know people make jokes about other people and all that, but I let it be funny, not just something that is that will, that will disrespect somebody." And then he picked this up now on Kendrick Lamar's. What he said on his song was that he doesn't want to see any white comedian disrespecting black women. He did not call names, but he knew himself. He knew what he's been doing, right? And he jumped or hopped on it like it was all his life. Because culture vultures, how do you want him not to talk about it? Because how do you want him to make his money? If you all have noticed, majority of these people depend on black community. I mean, their major source of income is black community, because they can say anything about black community and black community will come out and talk about it, right? I mean, it's really crazy, you know? All they look, what they do is leech. I call them leech because what they do is go around, leech around, and then run away. Sincerely speaking, there are some things, I don't know, but just that everybody can really not be so serious. There are some people's shows and all that people shouldn't be going, like DJ Vlad, this show was not Charlamagne, what's his name again? Andrew, and some of them. Young Turks also, I don't understand that man. Like I've been saying it, where that man is just another one. And who else? There is someone that just crossed my mind. I almost called his name, but I forgot. All these people shouldn't be getting black attentions, right? Because they make money out of it. But yeah, I love the fact. See, there are some things you can sit back in your studio and say you think it's like you're gonna get away with it. Some men are really mounting, and when I say they are mounting because there are some places you might not be able to put leg as it is now, because some people are really. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.